This is Diana and welcome to Craft It Sweetly. In this video I will show you how to apply the layered vinyl onto your project. In a previous video I showed you how to create multiple layers from a single image in Cricut Design Space. So in this video I will be using this messenger bag and applying the design to the front panel. So you first need to choose the different colors of vinyl you plan on using for your project. And this image is in Cricut Design Space. So I have 5 different colors that I will be applying for this image. I've cut them down to size and also cut out using the Cricut Design Space. I've cut out the pattern, and if you watch the previous video, the link is in the description and also above. It cut out the various layers in the different colors with the guide marks on there. It's a little hard to see in the image, but you can see that these are the centers. So each of these little squares will have the layer associated with that color. Once you've weeded out the vinyl, you will be left with the images that we need to apply to the project. And as you can see, each one will have the guide marks that we'll need later when we apply it with the press onto the fabric. If you are going to use a heat press, what will happen is the heat press is just a big surface area, so we would end up adding the guides to the material. So I'm going to use, I don't have a smaller easy press, I just have the mini one. So I'm just going to use this and kind of go over the area and not cover the guide marks because I don't want those to transfer on here. So to start, if you've done any kind of vinyl work, you do have to preheat the material first a little bit. So once your iron is preheated, and you can tell by the green lights that are on here, then I just run this over the area to preheat the fabric and also gets out any wrinkles. Okay, so once you have this, then you apply your first layer. And I'm going to use these as guides to kind of try and center this. So now this would be the first layer that I'm applying on here. Okay, and again, same with this. Now you do want to make sure that you're not going with the iron over these guide marks. So I'm just going to go over the area. Once you iron, we'll cut off the guide marks. This sticky paper still sticks to the fabric, but I didn't actually glue the guide mark to the fabric. So I'm going to cut this little area off. Again, I want to make sure that this does not shift. So those guides will stay. And I will run this over the plastic one more time to transfer the vinyl onto the fabric. And then depending on some vinyls, you can release the paper while it's hot. Other vinyls, you have to wait until it cools down. So you can test it and see if it lifts up. If it looks like it's still sticking to the plastic, then just put it back down and you can go over the area again with this. And now you can see that it glued it on there. So just slowly peel back. Guides stay. You can go from the other side also. So this looks like it's not releasing. Okay. This little area is a little loose, so I'm just going to put this right back over and give it a little more press. Alright, so now that layer is done. Now we're going to move on to the next layer. And it really doesn't matter what order you go in. So I'll just take the next layer, and you can kind of see, which direction at least the starting point is. And when you're applying now, I'm going to use this guide, needs to go right on top of this guide. We're applying that right there. And you want to make sure that the other guide is right on top of the other side. So the part that we cut out is just needed for the initial layer. After this, I don't need to keep cutting out this corner. I just matched them up on this side and this side. So now we'll use the Easy Press Mini to press on this layer of vinyl. When this lifts, I don't care if this purple lifts as well. I just need this guide to be stationary, the initial one, because everything else will just keep going right on top of it. So you can check and see if it releases. And this might be a cold one, so once you apply it, just let it cool a little bit. Once it has cooled, then we just peel back, and again, this is fine if this comes off. Then you go on to the next layer. So this is the center one, and you just kind of have to find the position, line up. Give it a second to cool, and then you can peel back. And it helps if you kind of roll it instead of trying to pull straight up. Now this one is part of these roses here. Okay, so align the guides. And then iron on. And what's nice with this Easy Mini Press is that you can get into tiny spots. I really like that about this. Okay, so that one was peeled off. Now again, guides are still there. I'm gonna add the last of the flowers and then do the centers. And then we have the last one. So this one you kind of have to turn it and see which direction this goes. But again, I'm using the guides as the anchor points. And this is what I mean. If you do the markings really far away, then you end up wasting a lot of vinyl. So at this point you can take these guides off because we've already done the center portion of it. So once you have your pieces down, you can certainly go back and just give it one more heating over the whole area. So there you have your project with the layered vinyl. Different colors, and it's really easy to achieve once you do the little guide marks on here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a stylish messenger bag instead of just a plain one. If you have any questions, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video. Thanks so much, and see you next time.